can't get my head around it. Liverpool have done it again. And my question to you, sir, is when you win in the manner that they constantly win, they don't necessarily play well, but they find a way to win. My question is it worrying or is it reassuring?
I think it's reassuring. 100%. I think if you can play meeker or average and still come away with 3 points, that's worrying for the teams around them because they can only go up. They're going to get better. And if they can do it in this manner, this way, then what happens when it finally gels and they finally kickstart themselves?
Yeah, if you're playing what is supposed to be badly, if you're playing and you've got new players who are finding their feet, finding their rhythm, and you are still finding a way to win games, what is it going to be like February, March, April, when Arne Slot's been with his team and Florian Wirtz has acclimatised to the league and Alexander Isak is in full flow? They're going to be unstoppable.
They're going to be in a great shape and great place. And I thought, talking about Florian Wirtz, I thought he was very good today. Yeah, you saw glimpses of his touches, his sharpness, his skill around the box, the drift past players. I think he's going to need a little cheeky goal here, and that's his confidence and the unlock that he's going to bring is going to be magnificent.
Do you know what? Just to drill into this, right? Let's just lay it out. Here's how Liverpool won their last 5 games. The 88th minute winner against Bournemouth, 100th minute winner against Newcastle, an 83rd minute winner against Arsenal, which actually feels early by comparison, a 95th minute winner against Burnley, and a 92nd minute winner against Atletico Madrid. The moral of the story here is do not leave a Liverpool game early. If you're the type of geezer that leaves a Liverpool game early, right? If you leave 10 minutes early, you could come away from it thinking that Liverpool have never won a game this season.
We've drew all that.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
No, it's fantastic, and that's a team that believes that it doesn't matter the time that's on the clock, doesn't matter how long's left. They believe until that final whistle blows. They believe that they can go on and score. But what's making it easier, and people are going to think what you're talking about, is that the teams that they're scoring against are literally playing 11 man in their own box.
Yeah.
That is drawing on pressure. If you've got the quality that Liverpool have got, whether it's people swinging in corners, the deliveries, trying to feed little balls through, crosses into the box, the strikers, if you sit back for the last 5 or 10 minutes and get everyone beyond the ball, have no way of getting out, and then deal with wave after wave after wave after wave, there will come a point where they will score. It's not luck.
Do you know what happens as well? The opposition start thinking it. Like, you know how we were watching the game together and I said Liverpool are going to get a winner here. If you're in that opposition, the fact that they've seen it happen time and time before, they start getting worried because they're getting closer and closer to a really good result. Therefore, their anxiety builds. They know that they're actually really vulnerable.
And not only that, it will be the manager. The manager before the game, at half-time, or wherever, he'll be drilling it into him saying, right, make sure you concentrate until that whistle blows. And that resonates through their minds, and that's in their heads, and that's like, it adds the more pressure. And then with all that, what's going on, sometimes you make the wrong decisions and the pressure gets a little bit too much. You're playing at Anfield, the atmosphere. So it's just, you got to give them full credit to Liverpool. No, you've got to say that when you're in this situation, teams can give up and keep, we're not going to get this result here and plug away half-heartedly. But they're going full throttle, believing that they're going to get a goal.
Yeah, so Liverpool will definitely be believing. And do you know what? I think I align with you. We discussed, is it worrying or is it reassuring for Liverpool fans? You said that it's reassuring, and I'm inclined to agree with you. But we have to look at it from the other side. Liverpool have conceded 8 goals in 6 games this season.
Yeah.
That's an issue.
Well, it's not an issue if you're scoring more than your opponent.
It's a good point, well made, Jermaine. Fair enough.
It's if you're conceding 1 or 2, but you're going to score 3 or 4, then it's not an issue because you're coming away with 3 points. Yes, you want to not concede. Yes, your defenders and your goalkeepers would like to keep a clean sheet. That's clean sheets more for those kind of players. But if you can score and you're going to win the game, then Arne Slot won't care if it's 3-0 or 3-2, as long as he comes off that pitch with 3 points.
I just begin to think that something massively is building here. We've seen it happen, haven't we, with like brilliant teams of a bygone era. Sir Alex Ferguson's teams, when they dominated for so long, part of the reason that they dominated is because they adopted a never say die attitude.
Yeah.
They would win games when there was absolutely no hope of winning them. It's what champions do.
But you look at it when it matters, when it comes to those big games, when it comes to the teams like, for example, Arsenal kept a clean sheet. And you look at this team, who's probably the highest scoring team in the league at the moment, can score for fun. You know, they've got the attacking powers to do that. But Liverpool kept them to a blank. And that's the only game that they've not scored a goal in this season. So when it comes to the crunch, they can hold out for a 0-0. They can be difficult to beat. But I guess sometimes it can be the lack of concentration of a team that we know we're better, that we know we're going to score 1, 2, or 3 goals against this team. And maybe they're not on the boil as they would be if it was a Man City or an Arsenal.
Yeah, it's terrifying though, because when all this comes to fruition, like when like the new players have acclimatised properly to the league and the country, and maybe Alexander Isak is in full flow. We saw him make his debut. What were your initial thoughts on Isak?
His first game, it's like a pre-season, kind of his first pre-season game, really. It's going to take a little while for him to get match fitness. But I saw little touches here and there. But I don't need to worry or to see if he's going to adjust. I've seen enough from what he did at Newcastle to know that once he gets fitness, that's all it is down to. Not as can he handle the league, can he handle Liverpool, can he handle the style? Of course he can. It's all about soon as he gets match ready, match fitness, more games under his belt. That's when we'll see the best of him.
Yeah, and I mean, and you can imagine, can't you? I mean, Arne Slot's a genius when it comes to formations. But if he ends up going for sort of the 4-2-3-1, if the 3 is Ekitike, Wirtz, Salah with Isak in front, that's enough going to take some stuff.
He's got options. You say you can go for that formation. You throw Ekitike on the right and have 3 at the top, as in, you know, Ekitike, Isak, and Salah. So he's got the options to change things around. And like you said, once they all on firing and full flow, it's a daunting thought for defenders.
It really is. We're going to go to the phone lines, Jermaine. All you have to do to get in touch with us on the Sports Bar is give us a ring. 03717 223344. That is the phone number that Richard called. Richard, a Liverpool fan, I believe, and I imagine that you are feeling rather chipper.
I'm not sure about chipper. Absolutely exhausted, I think, after the start of this season we've had. I might start taking a paramedic to the games with me. This is it's getting a bit mad, to be honest. But as you were saying, I think the fact that we're still winning games after not necessarily playing great. I thought tonight was probably our best performance of the season. I thought Wirtz played really well. We did let Atletico off the hook a little bit. I think there was a couple of times where we could have put the game to bed. But you're absolutely right. I think the fact that the opponents know that we're not going to give up and we're still going to keep going deep into stoppage time, I think is a concern for everybody that comes up against us, because, you know, it doesn't matter what result that it is when it hits 90 minutes. That's in the opponent's head. There's not going to be how it finishes unless something drastic happens. You know, we've got a really strong squad this season, and I think Isak, it was nice to see him getting on the pitch today. I don't think he pulled up any trees, but I wouldn't expect him to with his first game. But certainly sort of seeing Wirtz linking up a little bit with him was really good, and I think that's going to sort of obviously improve over time. So yeah, I think it's an exciting start to the season, but I would love us just to be a little bit more defensively sound, should I say? But yeah, I'm pleased with where we're at.
Yeah, Richard, we was watching it in the studio, and Rory and I said, look, they're going to score. Is that the same feeling around the ground, the atmosphere within the fans as well, watching the game? Do you all sit there believing as well, thinking, look, we are going to score again?
Yeah, it's really, really odd, because normally on the card, like in years gone by, when we're going into stoppage time needing a goal, there's always been a bit of anxiety, are we going to get it and everything else. And tonight, it didn't feel that way. It felt like something is going to happen. There was still a little bit of angst about just because we'd thrown away the 2-goal lead, but it wasn't. There was no doubt in my mind we would carve out at least 1 or 2 really good chances to get a goal. And I think the people around us would just exactly the same.
See, that's the thing, isn't it? See, that's the thing. We're in a studio. Like, I'm watching it with Jermaine. He's saying that they're going to score. I felt like you were going to score, and I didn't want you to. You're in the ground. You think you're going to score. Everyone around you felt like you were going to score. And I think that bleeds into the Atletico Madrid defenders. I think they would feel the inevitability.
It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly.
And it's something that the obviously you mentioned the United teams of the past had, where they just never give up. And I think that's the biggest thing for this Liverpool side at the moment. We haven't got the quality at the moment in our play for 90 minutes to dominate games and to sort of score 3 or 4 without reply. But what we have got is that attitude that, okay, you can equalise, you can get goals against us, but actually we're going to keep pushing until the end to make sure we get that extra goal that we need. And
I completely agree with you, Richard. I really do. I think that Richard has hit the nail on the head. That is a brilliant call to get us underway. I want to hear from more Liverpool fans. If you were at the game tonight, if you were watching, how did you feel? Get in touch. 03717 223344. Let me know. Do you take positives from tonight, or do you think that conceding goals in the way that you do is a cause for an underlying concern?
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.